All right, folks, we are back with Crypto Learn, where we learn how to earn with all things crypto. My name is Shibu. I am your host. I'm learning about crypto as I go. I've been passionate about it since 2017. I kind of left the markets because I was one of the spinach hands. I was one of the paper mache hands. What does that mean? I was looking into cryptos. I had just tipped my toe into buying a few little few dollars worth of Bitcoin, Ethereum, back then Litecoin. And when 2018 rolled around and the market started to flush, I was flushed along with it. I did not learn, I did not believe, and I deserved what I got. So I make these videos for you to be able to absorb the information because you don't have the hours to read articles, watch videos, follow Twitter, follow the news about cryptocurrencies, but you know, just like the 99% of us, that we need to be in crypto. We need to invest in these technologies. Now, we do know this, but some of us, are just starting out. Some of us haven't started yet, just dipping our toes into the water. So one of the things I'm going to keep doing is bringing you news, bringing you the things that I find that put things into perspective, maybe better perspective than you may even know already. And I never want to speak down to you. Now, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is purely entertainment. And I never want to talk down to my audience. I want to be able to deliver information that you're going to find useful. So let's get into it. So let's take a look at the latest news. And before you do that, here is where the market stands. Bitcoin in the last 24 hours is up almost 5%, up to $33,000 a coin. Ethereum, the biggest altcoin or alternative coin, alternative to Bitcoin, is at 1826, up 2.67%. BNB is up. ADA or Cardano is up. Some of the big ones, Theta, WBTC, Rapidcoin, Link, Matic. Some of the ones that I'm more familiar with, XRP is up about 0.5%. And our ever famous Dogecoin up 2.14%. Solana is up. VeChain, one of my favorites, it's up. So lots of green here in the last day or so. Friday was the expiration of futures contracts. People were expecting a lot of volatility. Some were expecting the markets to go down. You know what? It just kind of rode it out. The weekend is usually low volume, so it ends up being a little bloodier. That didn't happen, and it looks like a lot of great things are in the green. And let's go over here and take a look at the market caps of some of these. The overall market cap in the entire crypto space, according to CoinMarketCap, then you'll see a little bit of a difference in CoinGecko. But the overall market cap is 1.3 trillion. The volume over 24 hours has been 71 billion, and Bitcoin dominance is around 47.3%. Now, Bitcoin dominance, what that means is, or Ethereum dominance, when you see that number, it's how much money is in the market that's going towards Bitcoin versus all the altcoins, right? So is Bitcoin the hot thing right now? And as that gets stronger, you'll see the dominance dominate the other altcoins. And conversely, if you see that dominance fall, that means money is flowing out of Bitcoin and into these altcoins, right? So I have these sorted by market cap. And right now, the price, like I said, of Bitcoin is $33,000 each. It's got a market cap of $622 billion. And even though that sounds like a huge number, you got to consider that back in March, April, this was around 1.3 trillion, I believe, or even higher. It was as big as the entire market cap of the market today. It was that whole size. Let's see, Ethereum's at 214 billion. And here I'm going to touch on some of the ones that I follow more. I know a lot of people follow BNB. Unfortunately, I can't buy it in the US, so I really don't follow it as much. I really should, but I'll learn a little bit more about it. They've actually kind of got themselves into a little bit trouble, not the coin itself, but the company that runs it. Cardano, which the token is ADA. And let me just actually sort something else besides market cap. Let's take a look at what they've done the last 7 days. Let's see who's done what. That's actually a surprising number, Kasama. So here's what's happened in the last 7 days. Who's been up, who's been down? Not many that have been up. I mean, it's been a tumultuous Q2. calendar year Q2. In the last 7 days, CeLo, which I own, which I have a decent size in one of my wallets, is up 55%. I was pleasantly surprised to see that. Quant, which I bought only I'm just going to say about a week ago, so maybe my timing was good. And I'll touch on timing in a second. But these are the ones that have been up, and in the past 24 hours, let's see who's been, CeLo's been down. In the last 24 hours, Internet Computer, which I own a little bit of, that's been up about 17.83%. So I'm wondering why this is below that, but that's fine. It's probably just changed. And I told a few friends to buy some CRO if they can, crypto.com. Their native coin, or token, is up a bit. I think I tipped my toe in here around 9 cents, so not bad. And Solana, which I own, has been up a little bit. So some things are starting to show some strength. I think money is moving into the market a little bit from what I read. It's stabilizing a little bit. Let me take a look at this here, this analysis by AMB Crypto. And what they were talking about is how Bitcoin, Matic, and Theta, let's look at the price analysis, and how Bitcoin has stabilized. It was down, I think, to about 30,000, even a little lower earlier in the week, but it definitely was in the 30,000 range. It's moved up about 10% to the $33,000 range. And the MACD has finally had a bullish crossover. And from what I read in another article, there seems to be some shorts that have not covered. So that might force the price of Bitcoin to go up a bit. So just keep an eye on that. And just as we're looking at some of the, I didn't say I was looking too much at the technical analysis, just kind of look at the fundamentals with some technicals, with the MACD analysis. Let's look at what the sentiment analysis, and that I look at as the fear and greed index. That's at 22, still extreme fear. And how do you blame these folks? I mean, there's so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt being pumped by these big banks and the big news companies, and some of the ones that you don't know but do move the markets. You have that, and then every once in a while I find these articles, right? This is about 2 days old, but still it's very relevant in that the CEO of Celsius says Bitcoin will go all the way to 160,000 this year. Now, look, I don't want to pump hopium, which is just a funny way of saying pumping hope like I'm pumping drugs on you. I don't know if it's going to go to $160,000 this year. I don't know how this gentleman knows that. Now, he does make some good points. He sees it going up to 160,000 based on a few things that he's looked at, but he also analyzed the fact that why it dropped. When you go too high, too fast, you're bound for correction. You can see my tweets in both March and February saying we're going to have a crash. We're going to have a correction. I predicted 30,000. Bitcoin is like a spring. We stretch it too much and we put too much leverage. Too many people got greedy. And that's what I tend to believe. I really think we dropped so drastically, one, because we moved too fast, and two, because there's so much leverage in the market. There's too much money that's levered. And I really think, I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to ban people from doing what they think they need to do, but it really is, in my opinion, unhealthy for the market in the short term. Now, here's something else that this gentleman stated that I think is just so on point. So Mashinsky is noting the fact that Tesla would take Bitcoin as payment, but he says, you know what? If the richest guy in the world is willing to exchange a Bitcoin for a Tesla, you have to ask yourself, who is getting the good deal? The minute you buy that Tesla, it's worth less than you paid for it, but Bitcoin is going to continue to increase in value, so that transaction is good for Elon, but it's not good for you. And it's powerful to think that when people say Bitcoin is money, I tend to think it is. Look, I think it is. I think it's going to be the currency for the world. But to be quite honest, every time I buy Bitcoin, I hodl it. That's our term of the day, by the way. Do you remember when I covered this last time, hodling? Do you know where it came from? It came from a drunk trader back in 2013. This is the actual posting. He was a little inebriated back in December of 2013, and he was a little pissy, and he titled this little post, I am hodling. Again, he meant to write holding, but it stuck. And just to go back to my point, if I'm hodling or holding Bitcoin, and it goes up in value, am I really using that to buy things? I honestly just want to keep holding it. I want to keep accumulating, keep nibbling every time the price drops, because I truly believe it's going to be worth a lot more. And things like this make me reinforce that idea, or reinforce this idea for me. Billionaire Salinas wants to make Mexico's first Bitcoin accepting bank. Despite falling prices, Salinas is incredibly bullish about the world's biggest cryptocurrency. Banco Azteca, which he started, I think 19 years ago, I was going to say 20 years ago, excuse me, is going to start accepting Bitcoin. He thinks fiat currency is bullshit, pardon my French, and he is going to encourage his bank to accept Bitcoin, which means following suit with El Salvador, now Paraguay looking at it, and other Central and South American countries. If Bitcoin is accepted in Mexico, you have another large country saying Bitcoin is the future. So is the value going to get higher or stay low? You ask yourself. This isn't advice, so I'm just speaking out loud, thinking out loud. Here's more bullish news coming from last week, but Andreessen Horowitz, now I don't know if you're familiar with them, but a massive venture capital firm, very famous. They've launched a $2.2 billion crypto fund. The venture capital firm's third such offering, more than double the $1 billion target. Now, they thought they were going to raise $1 billion. They did much better than that, because institutional investors, the folks with the big bucks, want in. They know. And this fund will allow the firm to discover the next generation of visionary crypto founders, and will invest in early seed stage projects to fully develop later stage networks, according to a Thursday blog post by Andreessen General Partners Chris Dixon, Katie Huan, and Ali Yahya. I hope I'm saying that right. But again, they're going to invest in seed stage projects to fully develop the later stage networks. This money is going to come into the market. It's going to flood the market with more money, which means, in my opinion, I don't know, the price goes up. And Dixon, Juan, and Yaya wrote, crypto is not only the future of finance, but as with the internet in the early days, is poised to transform all aspects of our lives. So when you see all this, when you have all this information, and from my last video, if you remember, companies are quietly accumulating Bitcoin. More and more companies are accepting Bitcoin. More and more countries are considering accepting Bitcoin. The banks secretly, while they say one thing, secretly are training their traders. And I should have teased this in the beginning. Stay till the end, because I have a new theory for you on why this FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt news, keeps coming out. So you'll always hear these folks quietly accumulating Bitcoin and getting into the market, training their employees for crypto, hiring people for crypto, but then you see the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I have a new theory, which is, when you see things like this, institutions have no appetite for Bitcoin at this price level, JP Morgan. And in this article, they go on to cite the fact that JP Morgan and other very influential people have predicted $140,000 Bitcoin, $200,000 Bitcoin, $300,000 Bitcoin. But then when it goes down, they say, oh no, it'll never go back up. Nobody wants to buy this in the institutional levels. So there's two things about this. My crypto friends have been saying for months that this is manipulation, because when the price drops and the weak hands, like my former self, my spinach hands, let go of my crypto, my Bitcoin, guess who buys it? Guess who buys it? You got it. The big banks, the big institutions buy in. Because what do they do after that? When JP Morgan gets enough, which will never be enough, but when they think it's enough Bitcoin in their purses and their coffers and their wallets, they'll sell it back to you. Now here, that's the theory that's been going around. Now here is my new take on this theory and this FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Well, if JP Morgan believes in crypto, in Bitcoin, and sells it to you, and you can simply go to an exchange and buy it, why do you need JP Morgan after that? Now, if cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, other altcoins, are constantly fluctuating violently up and down, and there's so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt that they sow themselves in the market, What do you think 99% of folks are going to do? They're going to have to rely on JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, other huge institutions, BlackRock, to become the broker that advises them, that takes a fee, that you need because you just aren't smart enough to understand these violent markets. Now they are. You're just too stupid to understand it, so you need them. You need to pay them those fees. Get it? So that's my new theory. This is why I'm hodling or hodling. I'm going to hold on to these coins that I buy. I'm going to make sure that I am not losing out on all this green. Now, when it was red, I was buying, so I'm happy to see this green. And I might still buy it on the way up. But folks, stay in the game. Don't get fooled. Shibu here with Crypto Learn. I'm so excited that you're still with me. If you liked what you heard today, smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you real soon because guess what, folks? We're going to learn how to earn all things crypto.